And we're back. Finally, oh, hold on. We don't need that one yet. Finally back for Buddy's Test Kitchen. This time I'm much better prepared for the Kenji's Food Lab stuff. We're doing everything egg once more, since it didn't really work out last time because I was misprepared or badly prepared. But today we are back. See if anybody joins. Right now I think we are still alone, but that doesn't matter. All right, let's do this. Let's see if we can maybe record this for for YouTube as well. All right, welcome to Kenji's Food Lab. This is the first installment of the series. We're going to start with the first chapter in the book. This book back here. Which is called Eggs and the Science of Breakfast. So first of all, we have to figure out what exactly is an egg. An egg is produced by an avian animal. Basically any kind of animal that flies. We're not talking about eggs from non-avian animals like crocodiles or something like that, because I'm not sure you can eat them or want to eat them, but those from avian animals we can definitely eat. An egg consists of three parts: the shell, the egg white, and the egg yolk. Let's start with the white. The white is mostly water with some proteins as well, but those proteins are basically only ovalbumin, ovomucin, and ovotransferrin. Never heard of those, but maybe you have. The yolk itself contains 75% of the calories of an egg. It is the most fatty part, the most tasty part. It seems like it's rich and fatty, but it actually is not. It mostly contains dissolved proteins and some larger proteins plus some fat. All that is linked together by lecithin, which we need to be able to emulsify stuff, which we are going to test today. Now, the positive parts about an egg are the fact that these proteins are already dissolved, which makes it extremely easy to incorporate it in some kind of dish or whip it. The egg whites to stiff peaks. I mean, if you look at other proteins like meat proteins, try to whip those up. Kenji tried, doesn't work. We have different grades of eggs. The lower the grade, the more water it contains, which results in the white not holding together as good. Which is one of the reasons why you should always strain an egg before you want to poach it or fry it. Yeah, the better the grade, the less water, the more it holds its shape. The freshness, of course, also plays a role. The fresher the egg, the tighter the egg white. Now, there are a couple of myths regarding eggs. Hold on, let me quickly check something. Well, there's basically one myth that I know of, which is that older eggs are easier to peel, which is total bullshit. It's quite the opposite, actually. The fresher, the easier to peel. On top of that, old eggs might have the issue that the white has started to separate a little bit, so the egg yolk moves around inside the egg, resulting in an off-center yolk, which just looks weird if you cut it up. Now, how can you make sure that your eggs are easy to peel once you've boiled them? Well, first of all, you should always put them into the boiling water. We're going to go into the water parts a little bit of later date, or later in this stream. But if you put them in hot water, they basically get shocked and are far easier to peel in the end. Now, how do you determine if an egg is old, fresh, or... It's weird. Nobody's here. We've got one viewer. Okay, never mind. Let's see if anybody shows up. Welcome. We're never going to leave you up. I'm doing great. How are you? We're in the middle of trying to define what an egg is so that we can get those, can learn about those. How are you though? How is your Saturday going? The van is, well, it will never be completely done. Right now I'm taking a break because it's quite cold outside and it's not really fun working on the van. But yeah, there's always something to do. And I'm still missing the some tapestry on the walls or something like that. Make it a little bit more homely, but it's getting there. And like I said, I will always have something to do, and that is not the most important part. So yeah, it works, I can use it, and that's the most important part. All right. Now, to figure out how old your egg is, the main thing is you can put it in water. If it sinks to the bottom, it's fresh. If it rises to the top, that as well, yeah. Yeah, how old your egg is. Now, the question is, why does it sink to the bottom when it's fresh and rise when it's light, when it's old? Quite easy. The shell is porous, meaning that over time, the water in the egg will start to evaporate, probably at the rate of 4 microliters per day, meaning the older the egg. If it sinks, it works. If it floats, don't eat it like you would a boat. Exactly. And that is because the water inside the egg starts to evaporate, meaning there is going to be more air in the egg, which again makes it float. Quite easy, right? Now, where should you store your eggs? In the refrigerator or not? As with many things in life, that really depends. If you buy your eggs in the United States, I would heavily suggest to refrigerate them. Simply because in the US, they wash the eggs before they sell them, meaning there is this little wax coating on top of it, on top of the shell, which gets removed, basically making it easier for bacteria to get inside the egg. So it makes more sense to keep it in the refrigerator where there's less bacteria. Hey, Gothrush, how are you doing? Welcome on this lovely Saturday afternoon. How are you doing? How is your weekend going? Yeah, if you're outside the US, it's really not necessary to refrigerate your egg. They do keep a little bit longer in the refrigerator. Buddy is doing great. He's, oh, by the way, yeah, not on the monitor right now because he's lying somewhere else, basically over there on the sofa. But he's doing great. You're good, Gothrush? Oh, that's good to hear. I'm doing great as well. Well, as great as I can be after I've overslept completely today. My alarm was supposed to ring at 6 a.m. I woke up at 10, which is also why we're here at this time of day and not as planned as at 12 o'clock. So, yeah, but otherwise everything's fine. All right, let's get back to the eggs. Question, well, one of the final questions regarding eggs and egg quality is the question higher grade. Well, you can refrigerate them. It doesn't hurt them. However, there is no reason to, except that they might keep a little bit longer. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. They are more than safe, but that has nothing to do with the refrigeration or not. The only thing that makes the US eggs need to be refrigerated is the fact that they remove the wax coating before they sell them, meaning the bacteria can easier get into the egg. The actual almost links, welcome by the way, how are you doing? That was very close, but unfortunately didn't work out. Yeah, and in the refrigerator, just bacteria can't survive as good, meaning there are going to be less bacteria moving inside the egg through the porous shell. But in the EU, the eggs are not washed, meaning the wax coating is still there, keeping all those bacteria out. But yeah, should you buy higher grade eggs or lower grade eggs, or in Germany we call them bio eggs, basically from a nature farm, I would say. It really depends, again, what you're going to use them for. You never win these things, damn. This is your alarm speaking to me. Yeah, I definitely should. And to be honest, I can't even remember that I turned it off this morning. I must have just turned around in my sleep and hit it. Hasn't happened in years, so I guess my body told me I need more sleep. Yeah, if you want to use the... Oh, thank you, Viv. My biggest fan. Means a lot. Really depends on what you want to use the egg for. If you want to use the yolk on top of a steak tartare, for example, I would definitely suggest buying a higher grade egg, because the yolk is going to have a nicer color and it's going to taste much more intensive. Hey, Cloma, how are you doing? Welcome. How is your Saturday going? Hopefully all is fine. Yeah, so those are basically the most important things about the eggs. I've been here in 3 months, called myself a big fan. Well, how often you show up doesn't really matter as much, does it? The most important thing is that you do come back. And I'm more than happy that you are, or that you did, Viv. You're doing great. You woke up before your alarm clock today. Damn, I haven't done that in years, honestly. But it's probably because I basically sleep too little every single day, or every single night. White or brown eggs? Hey, Balding, how are you doing? Welcome. How is your day going? It actually doesn't matter. There is no discernible difference between the inside of a white or a brown egg. All that depends on is the race of the chicken. There are certain races of chicken or types of chicken that lay brown eggs, and there are certain types that lay white eggs. So it doesn't really make a difference, honestly. To be brown is the same as white. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Viv. It does not make any difference at all for the taste or the preparation. Now, the first thing we are going to have a closer look at is boiling eggs. Sounds very simple, but to get the perfectly soft boiled egg is actually quite difficult. It all depends on time and temperature. It rhymes, you know, the statement is fine. I wouldn't go that far, at least not in every case, but in many. Miona, welcome. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the subscription. That freaking printer is not working, unfortunately, so ignore that. I have already purchased a new one. It arrived 10 minutes before stream started, so I hadn't had time to install it, but I'll do that after stream and it will be ready for tomorrow. But thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. How is your weekend going? And yours, Lasse, how is your weekend going? Welcome. Yeah, like I said, we're going to look at boiling eggs first of all, which is why I have a little pot with some water here, which we are going to turn on to the highest heat to get it up to boil. In slow stepped until 2 p.m. today. Oh, nice, Lasse. That's the way. That's the way it's supposed to be. I'm doing great. Finally slept enough. Went to bed like around 1 a.m. Woke up at 10 a.m. So 9 hours. That's fine. But otherwise, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Amy, how are you? Welcome. How is your weekend going? Glad you will join us as well. Now, when we're talking about boiling eggs or talking about water boiling, there are certain vocabularies we have to talk about, because it all depends on the level of boil, right? There are 4 different stages of water boiling. One is quivering. You're working. Oh no, Amy, I'm sorry. I hope you're off work very soon. The first one is quivering. What is quivering? Let's see, maybe we can even have a look here. This is quivering, what you can see inside this pot right now. If you can actually see it, let me show it to you. You have first bubbles forming, but they're not rising to the surface quite yet. This happens at around 55 degrees Celsius, which is 130 degrees Fahrenheit. The next level after that, starting at around 75 degrees Celsius, 170 degrees Fahrenheit, is subsimmering. That means we have more bubbles. Those bubbles start to rise to the top, but the water itself is mostly still, not moving much. Then we have the simmer. It means the bubbles are rising to the surface, are breaking the surface, and the water is starting to move around, but not too violently. This happens at around 90 degrees. And lastly, with the full boil, which is basically roaring, boiling water, lots of bubbles, a lot of broken surface, and this happens at 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, as you might have heard, some people like to add salt, vinegar, baking soda, or stuff like that to the water. Does not make any difference. The only factors for boiling the eggs, time and temperature. Nothing else. Quite easy. Now, there are a few myths about boiling eggs. Oh, hold on. I think this is boiling. Yeah, this is a roaring boil. Let me get that out of the way. And actually, we're going to turn that off because we're first going to talk about the myths. Now, yeah, true, Lasse, true. Altitude does play a role, but it's so minimal that I decided not to talk about it much. Basically, we're talking about if you're somewhere like, I don't know, 2 kilometers below sea level versus 5 kilometers above sea level, you will have a difference, but it's so minimal that it doesn't really matter for people living at normal altitudes, I would say. Now, some myths that I personally haven't heard, but Kenji mentioned them in the book, so I wanted to quickly talk about them. Apparently, some people claim that cold water boils faster than warm water. I have no idea how that is supposed to work, but it is complete bullshit, obviously. I mean, the water needs a certain temperature to boil. The colder the water, the longer it takes to reach that temperature. Makes sense, right? Now, the reason why this myth apparently was created was because you should still use cold water to boil to bring it up to boil. It does freeze faster, that is true, but it does not colder does not boil faster. However, what it does is it takes less material from your pipes while traveling through your pipes. Warm water dissolves more material inside the pipe, meaning you will have that material in the water, meaning it can affect taste or cloudiness or stuff like that. Yeah, true. I'm always wondering, what is the motivation? Why would somebody flip that over, even if it's obviously not true? And in this case, basically security or safeness or safety. Especially in early days when the pipes were made out of lead or something like that, it does make kind of sense to use cold water instead of warm, so you don't have as much lead in your water to drink or to use. So that makes sense. Now, here's another one which is quite interesting, especially regarding freezing. That's a funny one. Some people are saying if you turn up your stove up more using a bit cooler water than you would be using warm water, it boils faster. Maybe, yeah, that's a good point. That could be a reason as well. Obviously, with higher energy consumption, you would boil faster. Maybe, yeah, makes sense. Now, has any of you heard the myth that you should? Yeah, it's ridiculous to even say this. To freeze your water before boiling, or to boil it before boiling? Because apparently there is a myth that frozen or previously boiled water boils faster. Which, again, from a scientific standpoint, it kind of does make sense, but it is such a minimal effect. Now, why does it make sense, though? It makes sense because boiling and freezing removes gases from the water, mostly CO2. And those the removing of those gases can influence the boiling time. But again, we're talking about a couple of seconds, maybe, if even that much. So again, yes, it is true, but it doesn't have any influence at all. And lastly, spend 10x. Yeah, exactly. You would have to do that, basically. But otherwise, I don't really see, I wouldn't go through. What? Wait, Links, I don't get that. Liquid turns into vapor faster or slower if there's gas in the liquid? Ooh, interesting question. Well, in my personal opinion, and obviously this is not scientifically proven or anything, I would say it takes longer. It actually does take longer, in my opinion, because again, let's say you've got the water. Yay! Oh, honestly, I do have multiple alarms, Links. Like I said, I was just so overtired this morning that my body said I ignored that alarm. Normally, I wake up just fine with the alarm. Like I said, it hasn't happened in years. Not in sub-only mode? Yeah, exactly. Finally, I managed it. Yay! Nicole, how are you doing? How is your Saturday going? I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. It is Saturday. We're cooking, well, not yet. We're talking about eggs at the moment and water, but we are going to cook some eggs soon. But for the record, we're going to do 4 different types of eggs today. We're going to boil eggs, we're going to fry eggs, we're going to poach eggs, and we're going to scramble eggs. Those are the 4 themes that I've picked for today. Now, back to your question, Gothrush. I really do think it takes longer to boil, because if you think about it, you've got the water. Within the water molecules, we've got gas molecules, and those gas molecules are isolating the water molecules, which basically means that the heat takes longer to travel from water molecule to water molecule, making sure it takes longer before those water molecules heat up and start to boil and start to turn into vapor. So it does kind of make sense, in my opinion. The more gas in the liquid, the longer it takes to boil, because the gas is basically water. You've got water in water molecules. Yeah, exactly. I'm that smart, believe it or not. So yeah, I can see there is a logic, right? It's just the question if it's the right logic. I have no clue about that. But according to this guy, at least I'm not completely off. And also, it is minimal. The effect is minimal. No, that's not true, Links. Scrambled eggs are amazing, but I love me some boiled eggs as well. You wouldn't have known. Yeah, come on, bash me. I get it. I deserve it. Boiled is nice if you slice it into thin slices and put it on bread, for example. Fried is the only one that tastes good. Depends very much on how it's fried, Lasse, in my opinion. But generally, I like any type of egg. The preparation doesn't matter. All good to go. It's supposed to be fun, right? Boiled with Callis caviar. Oh, all right, Mr. High Society there. Mr. Food Snob? No. I've been called a food snob so many times I can't count. It all goes down the same way. Exactly. Exactly. It all ends up in the same part of your body, doesn't it? All right, we've got one final myth that we need to talk about, which is not... Wait, you're making an omelet 90% of the time. I'm making an egg. I mostly do scrambled eggs, honestly. Yeah, true. Nate can't really be bullied anymore. It is quite amazing how well he's doing at the moment. I'll hope for him that he can keep that going, but we'll see. Time will tell, right? Scrambled, yeah, to be honest, scrambled is my favorite, my go-to method as well. Like I said, I do love me a poached egg, but mostly I'm too lazy to do that, honestly. You bullied him last week? How? Tell me more, Gothrush. It's like smoked and boiled caviar with mayo and other additives. Oh, I have never tried that. That's it. So I have no clue. But good to know. Gotta see if I can get that somewhere. Yeah, the last part, or the last myth, is basically one that is not only relevant to egg boiling. It's basically relevant to boiling water in general. Teach me your ways. Oh, hold on. Let's have a look at that. Oh, from Sweden. Nice. Ooh.
So not exactly the same, but it looks very similar. We usually find it.
Oh my God. Yeah, definitely, Cloma. I know they have... Oh, that looks disgusting. But good. Well done, Gothrush. Well done. Yeah, I know they have these salmon cream in tubes, which I love, to be honest. But I haven't seen caviar in tubes. But to be honest, I haven't looked for it, so that's probably why I haven't seen it. It can be, but there is cheap caviar, honestly. But the really good one, that one is freaking expensive, absolutely. All right, final myth. I've eaten bugs, absolutely, but not those. I mean, they were like this and alive. The bugs I've eaten are like this and dead. So no, I have not tried those kind of bugs yet. That's posh boy food. True, it is not very commonly eaten. I have to agree with that. Final myth: salting your water. Uh-oh, I'm scared, Tikuho. I'm scared. The good thing is that they are not very easy to get here in Germany. You would have to come by and visit me and bring me some. Then we can talk about that. That will be a reason to eat those. Yeah, last myth. Salting your water before boiling it. Does it raise the boiling point or not? Well, it kind of does, but again, we're talking maybe 2 degrees. If you put, yeah, exactly, Gothrush. If you put like 1 kilos in there, it does lower the freezing point quite a lot. That is true. Bev, welcome, and welcome. Congratulations to being first. How are you doing? How is your Saturday going? It does lower the freezing point, and yes, it does raise the boiling point, but again, minimal. Unless you put like 2 kilos or so in there. Live bugs to eat, keep that in other European countries. I'm sure we have them too. They're just not easy to get, in my opinion. But I haven't looked into it again. Maybe they are. All right, now we're gonna boil some eggs, everybody. We are gonna boil 3 different eggs with 3 different times, so that you can see the difference in those eggs. Yeah, exactly, Lynx. You're doing fine? Oh, that's good to hear, Bev. Doing great. It's Saturday afternoon. It's instead of midday as it was supposed to be. But here we are doing some boiled eggs and fried eggs and scrambled eggs and poached eggs. And we're going to start with the boiling, meaning we need to boil the water. And yeah, those poor eggs. And they will even be eaten afterwards. I mean, first they're going to be killed, then eaten. True, dear hope. Praise now you will add bacon to them. Gee, I could. I do have bacon in the fridge. But nah, not today. Today we're going to concentrate on eggs only. Now, if you boil your eggs for 3 minutes, the whites will have just started to solidify, but will still be quite runny, and the yolk will be completely raw. Those kinds of eggs will be able to be peeled, but you just have to be extremely careful. And I mean extremely careful. Then you can use those eggs to throw over a salad or over some pasta or something like that. No, he hasn't, Di Coco. I don't know what's going on. He must be sick or something. He's not excellent today. If you boil your egg for 4 minutes, the whites will start to solidify, will be even further on, and the yolk will start to solidify at the outer sphere a little bit already. Why did the new egg feel so good? Because you just got laid. Yeah. No, you're just egging him on? No, I would never do that, Lynx. A crack in the system, yeah, absolutely. If you boil the eggs for 6 minutes, they're perfectly soft-boiled eggs. Autism Kindness Music, thank you so much for the follow, appreciate that. Means a lot, welcome. Glad you enjoy it here. By the way, song requests are enabled. If you want to listen to some music, !SR in the Spotify link, and that song will be added to the playlist. You can also type !SR artist author song name, and it will search for that song and add the first result. All right, the water is boiling. I'm going to throw in the first of our eggs. Oh, Autism, thank you so much. Means a lot. You whisked das schon real. Oh, hold on, I need. Where is it? I need my soundboard. I hope you heard that. I'm not sure. All right, water is boiling. We're gonna poke the egg, and we're gonna boil the first egg for 3 minutes to see how that one is gonna look. We're going to take the slotted spoon. Hold on, where's there some paper on there? You lowered it in. Echo, 3 Minuten. All right. Now, once that is boiled, I'm going to quickly make a cold water bath ready so that we can cool it down and it doesn't keep boiling once the boil time is over. That is the only part missing over here in this little stream kitchen, is a sink with some water. I'm gonna let you think about it. This is getting quite ridiculous. No, damn, it doesn't work. All right, the egg is lovely and boiling. I'm going to prepare the next 2 eggs. We're going to throw them in right away afterwards. By the way, let me get that one up. And as you can see, I have different kind of eggs because I took the ones that I could get at the store at the moment. I've got a few brown ones and mostly white ones, so it really does not make any difference. Okay, I'm going to need some more water, otherwise we're going to have an issue there. Because after all, those eggs should be completely submerged. And I know that it stopped boiling now, but there was no other way. Gonna come back up to a boil right away. Luckily, never neglect the community. Oh, it's starting, everyone. The egg puns are coming. Oh my God. By the way, for those interested in the behind the scenes stuff, this is our new printer for the tickets, which I will install later today. And then we are ready so that you can print me some messages again. But unfortunately, right now, that does not work. You put all the eggs in one basket. Should I look? Yeah, I can understand that. Your opponents always excel my expectations. Oh, it hurts. God, it hurts. All right, while we look at this, how about we'll have a look at what happens inside the egg while it boils. I mean, to get... Okay, we've had that one before, Gothrush. We've had that one today. Echo, timer, aus. All right, we're going to put the next one in and get the 3-minute one out and put it over into the cold water. Echo, 4 Minuten. All right, it's in the water cooling. And all right, as you can see in the water, this egg was cracked, or did crack, because there is some white weeping out, as you can see. Wait, as you can see here. That happens when you break the white inside the egg. But he keeps poaching on. Copying just. Hey. You guys are evil, let me tell you. All right, this is our first 3-minute egg. 4-minute egg is in there, and then we're gonna put the 6-minute egg in. And then we're gonna have a look at, actually we're gonna make more eggs. We're gonna make one more at 7.5 minutes so that you can see what it looks like once it's completely cooked. How do you make an egg roll? Just give it a little push. Technically the truth. All right, let's have a look at what happens inside the egg while it boils. The yolk and the white do firm up at different points in time, at different temperatures. So obviously the heat has to travel through the egg white. Where is the dotted spoon? Damn it. The heat has to travel through the egg white to the yolk so that it can reach it, obviously. Meaning that the yolk needs a higher temperature to firm up than the whites. Now, at around 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Wait, let me quickly get my cheat card. There it is. At around 130 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 55 degrees Celsius, the whites start to get hot, the proteins start to uncoil. At around 140 degrees, the white turns milky and jelly-like, which is very thin, but it starts to stay together a little bit. Now at 155 degrees Fahrenheit, they get really solid, but it's still squishy, soft, and moist. At 180 degrees Fahrenheit, it will solidify, but will still be tender. To ease the steam a bit. And if you get around above 180 degrees Fahrenheit, your white will really dry up and get rubbery, and the longer you boil it at that temperature, the rubberier it gets. Lifey, welcome. I'm not making anything in particular. We're talking about the science of preparing the perfect eggs 4 different ways: boiling, frying, poaching, and scrambling. At the moment, we are still at the boiling stage. So we are currently boiling an egg that will be boiled for 4 minutes, which will basically give us a quite solid egg white. very runny egg yolk, hopefully. Although the whites should still be a little bit runny as well. Echo, wie lange noch? Echo, wie lange noch? Perfect. So our 4-minute egg is ready as well in a couple of seconds. Right now, Echo, stop. All right, let me get that into the cold water to cool down so it doesn't keep on boiling from the residual temperature. And I'm going to fill up the water, and we're going to add, bring it back up to a boil and add the 3rd egg at 6 minutes this time. Let's get that ready. More importantly, we're making egg puns. True, absolutely. Well, dinosaur came out of an egg as well, right? So we can just continue that question, Vav. No. Yeah, definitely, Vav. I think that's the best way to fry an egg. I mean, you get some more chalk, you got some crunch as well. Wait, you just resubbed? That is weird, Lifey, but thank you so much. I'm not sure why not. There was no alert, nothing. Did you click the share button? Maybe you have to share it so that it gets picked up by the system. If you just do it through the button down there, it won't show up for some reason. I'll leave that up to you, Dico. Feel free to Google that. All right, let's get this 3rd egg in at 6 minutes. Echo, 6 Minuten. All right, and I'm going to get the 4-minute egg out of the cold water, since that is finished as well. There we go. All right, and while we wait for the 6-minute egg to boil, we're going to start to peel the 3- and 4-minute eggs. I'm going to have a look at that. Oh, that is weird, Lifey, but thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate that. Especially this month, where I'm donating 100% of all the proceeds from everything on this channel to charity and also to some smaller streamers to pay forward all the lovely success we've had over this year since I started this stream. So yeah, every sub, every bit, everything helps. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, Life. Really appreciate that. All right, let's get those. Let's peel those 2 eggs that we have boiled already. We're going to start with the 3-minute egg, which is this one. Got a few bowls here. So this egg will still be quite soft, although it is already starting, or it has already started to solidify. But as you can see, it's quite jiggly. The white is not very firm at all. I have to be really careful. It's so easy, if you look at this part, so easy to take huge parts out. Because as I said, it is still very jiggly. You really have to be careful when peeling it to not break it. See, I mean, I just flipped this one up and it took a whole part of the egg with it. And you can see how jiggly it's in there, right? There we go. So that is a 3-minute egg. This is perfect for throwing it over some salad or some pasta because it really breaks up and covers everything. I'm not going to eat this like this because this is just a little bit too jiggly. I mean, you can see it right here, how raw it still is inside. I mean, the yolk barely has gotten any warmth at all. So we're going to throw that one away right away. There we go, Lifey, thank you so much. You had eggs this morning and they were excellent. Lovely. Gonna grab some food? Definitely. No worries, Nicole. I hope you have an amazing rest of your night and an amazing night ahead of you as well. There we go. Thank you so much, Live. We really appreciate it. All right, that was the 3-minute egg. As you saw, it was very, very runny still inside. So let's open up the 4-minute egg and see how that one looks. Again, we have to be quite careful, although this is already, as you can see, a lot firmer than the other one. It's still quite jiggly. It still moves and changes shape when I push it. But it is a lot more cooked than the other one. And it holds together much better. Rest his legs. Oh, Lynx. But a good one. I have to say, that's a good one. Okay, as you can see, this one is still quite squishy, but already firmed up a lot more. And this one I'm more than happy to eat. I just need some salt. And of course, you don't take any regular table salt. We're going to take fleur de sel, sea salt. And just sprinkle a few crystals on it. That is almost perfect. Almost. So 4 minutes is ideal if you, for example, want to throw it over some asparagus, some grains, mix it into some rice or something like that. Perfect. Can really suggest that you use these kind of boiled eggs for salads or something. 1-0 Morocco scored. Nice. That's not bad. To be honest, I haven't followed the World Cup at all. Not even for 5 minutes. I haven't seen any games, any goals, nothing. But good to know. You heard people cheer down the street. Nice. All right, while we wait for the third egg to cook, let's talk about the egg yolk. Obviously, the egg yolk changes states during the cooking process as well. Here, we're going to start at around 145 degrees Fahrenheit instead of 130. And that is the point where the yolk starts to thicken. That hadn't even happened in the 4-minute egg that I just had. At 158 degrees Fahrenheit, the yolk starts to get firm. It still starts to hold its shape, and it is dark and translucent with a fudge-like texture, almost. Between 158 and 170 degrees Fahrenheit, it becomes further until it shifts to a pale yellow, which you know from overcooked fried eggs, for example. And if you get Fahrenheit, yeah, it's because the book is from America, that's why everything is in Fahrenheit. Let me get the egg out of the water so it doesn't overboil. There we go, up into the cold water. I am going to translate those Fahrenheit into Celsius in just 1 second. I've got that written down. Echo, stop. All right, let me again top up the water. All right. Yeah. Like I said, I did it in Fahrenheit because the book is in Fahrenheit. But 145 degrees Fahrenheit, is around 60 degrees Celsius. 158 is around, I would say, 65 to 70. And 170 degrees Fahrenheit is 75 degrees Celsius and higher. Yeah, to be honest, when it comes to books like a cookbook or any, let's call it professional book, I rather get the original than the translated version because the translation mostly isn't as good. And you're going to lose some stuff. It's going to crack up. Yeah. And since Kenji is an American, obviously his books are for the American audience mostly. In many parts of the book, he actually does the conversion from like quarts to liters or Fahrenheit to Celsius, but not in this specific part, unfortunately. Alrighty. We are getting... Wait. Oh yeah, that's the last part. Perfect. So the water is back to boiling, which means we can lower the last egg at 7.5 minutes. Echo 7,5 Minuten.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna get the 6-minute egg, start peeling that, and then we're gonna have a look at how that looks. Now, this is our explosive stomach later. I don't mind. I can eat 10, 20 eggs easily. Now, this is the 6-minute egg. This is the kind of egg I love to get to put on a piece of bread, for example. As you can see, it is still a little bit squishy. The yolk is supposed to be still runny, yet it is quite firm and you can actually start to cut it into slices. Like, as you can see, it is still squishy, but it holds its shape a lot better than the last one. Wait, let me quickly get that browser window out of the way. There we go. All right. Let me get a piece of bread. Which we have right here. Because, of course, this has to be eaten the correct way. Hey, Walker, welcome. How are you doing? How is your Saturday going? Hope everything is well. Glad that you would join us. We've just cooked a 6-minute egg, which I'm going to put on a piece of bread right now. And then we're going to start poach some eggs. Now, I always like some butter underneath. Not much, not too much though. There we go. Oh, I cuddled for Buddy. Thank you, Lifey. Let me do that in just 1 second. Now, we can take this egg and we can basically just throw it on top of the bread and start cutting it. And as you can see, the egg yolk is still extremely runny, yet the egg white is quite firm. The yolk has started to firm up in the middle, on the border, but it is firm enough to be cut with a knife. Again, doesn't need much more than just a tiny bit of salt. There we go. And we can enjoy a lovely piece of bread with egg. Lovely. You do have to be careful because the yolk tends to run down. But, I mean, this is in my personal opinion. If you boil your eggs, this is the perfect texture. This is how it's supposed to be. Lovely. Now, let me give Buddy that cuddle that you want, Lifey. Komm mal her. Lieber Buddy, du musst mal Hallo sagen zu sagen. Here's the little one. Ja, guck mal, wo wir hier sind, ja? Sieht lecker aus, ne? He wants to eat my bread. But not today. Looks good, doesn't it? Off we go. So, mach wieder Platz. Ab. Ab. Abmarsch. Another one for Buddy. What the hell? Okay, I'm gonna give him that a little bit later because he just went back to the sofa. But I will definitely be cuddling him before this stream is over. Promised. Oh. I could eat this every day for breakfast. Echo, wie lange noch? Echo, wie lange noch?
2 Minuten und 30 verbleibend auf deinem 30.
All right, 5 minutes are over. We're gonna wait another 2.5 minutes, and then we're gonna get the egg out. Oh, the perfect breakfast egg, honestly. Now, once we've cooked that or boiled that egg, we're gonna switch over to poaching some eggs. I have something prepared, a pot with some water, and we're gonna put that on and get it to boil, because we're gonna need that afterwards. We don't need it at a full roaring boil, just a sub-simmering. If you remember earlier, we talked about what sub-simmering means. It basically means that we see the first bubbles forming, and they're starting to rise to the top, yet the surface is not broken by the bubbles yet. Not like the water that is boiling here right now. By the way, let me remove some of the water that boiled over. I mean, this is electronics, and that could be a horrible result if this happens. It happens to get in there. There we go. Oh, let me quickly blow my nose. I was still muted, I didn't notice that. Cheers, everyone. All right, the final egg is ready. Echo, stop. Our final egg is ready. We can turn that water off and transfer this one into the cold water so it stops boiling. And we can more easily peel it in a second. But honestly, it doesn't really matter that it stops boiling, because after all, this is hard cooked anyway. And we're back. Whoop, hold on. Stay there. There we go. All right. Let us peel this final egg before we move on to poaching some eggs. All right. As you already can see, the white is really firm now. Oh, and it's already breaking because I didn't peel it under flowing water, which is a good tip if you want to peel your eggs perfectly. Just hold them under running water while you peel. It helps when there's some water getting into between the shell and the egg white. Hot. All right, there is our egg. Now, as you can see, it is still a little bit squishy, obviously, but it is a lot firmer than the other one was. And if we start to break it up, we can see the egg yolk is not runny at all. Well, a tiny bit runny still in the middle, but almost no runniness left, which is why we can eat just like this. A little bit of salt. Lovely. But yeah, this is like perfectly if you want to slice it into smaller parts, put it into an egg salad or something like that. Just a regular hard-boiled egg. Now, we're coming to poaching our eggs. What is important when we poach eggs? What do we want? What is the desired result? The desired result is a firm egg white that encases the entire egg yolk in one, let's call it cohesive shape. That means we need to get rid of the excess water in the egg. How do we do that? We basically take a small bowl, like this one. We're going to take one egg. We're going to get to that lesson, no worries. We are going to get to that. I've got that on my cheat sheet here. We are going to put the egg into this bowl, making sure that the egg yolk stays whole, obviously. Next thing we're going to do. Now this is going to be interesting, because what we need to do is, like I said, we need to get some of the excess water in the egg white out. To do that, we are going to take a sieve, put it into the well, on top of another bowl, and simply throw the egg in there. And as you can see, there is the excess water coming out. We're going to keep that dripping until there's nothing left to drip. There we go. And now we only have the actual egg white, the protein, and the egg yolk. Now, to your question, Lasse, you should not put vinegar into the water. Why? Well, it all depends on, or it all relies on what the vinegar is doing. The vinegar makes sure that, or is supposed to make sure that the white sets faster. And that is true. Vinegar does make egg white set faster, just not fast enough. They are already faster from the water alone. And that in turn causes the egg white to set too far, to overset while poaching the egg. The resulting poached egg would be dry and tough, and you don't want that. You obviously want a lovely tender egg. So I would strongly suggest against putting vinegar in your water. In addition to that, it can affect the taste as well, and you don't want that either. So I would just do it the way that we are doing it here. We're going to bring the water to a sub-simmer. That's the important part, which is around here. You might be able to see the bubbles. They're starting to rise to the top, but they're not breaking the surface by much. So all we have to do is take our egg in our sieve, slowly pour it in. Let's hope that works. I haven't done it this way either. We're going to move it around and try to encase the egg yolk with the white. That did not work at all, apparently. Nope, that did not work. I think my pot was too small. Yeah. I'm going to have to take another pot where I can really submerge the sieve. That was the problem in this case. So let us redo this. I mean, this is an experiment after all. We're going to take a bigger pot where we can get the whole sieve in there. Spinning the water, yes, you can do that. It doesn't hurt, but again, there's almost no reason to do it. Because if your pot is big enough and you can put it, put your egg in there with the sieve, it already starts to set the moment the sieve hits the water and encases the egg yolk. But the vortex actually does help, yeah, or can help, absolutely. Okay, let me get that one off and get the new water on. There we go. Let me fish that egg yolk out of there, because we don't want to waste anything, do we? Yeah, okay, that did not work, like I said. Let me quickly get rid of that. But that is what we're here for, right? We're trying to test this stuff out. All right, we're going to prepare another egg. Here we go. We're going to do the same process as with the first one. Into the sieve. Get all that excess water out. Oh, there wasn't much water in this one, apparently. Ah, a little bit, there it goes. Because let me show you how he shows it in the book. Where is it? Here we go. Let's see if we can get that onto the camera. There we go. Basically from the sieve into the water, and that's it. And fold it over with the sieve. That's what we're trying to achieve. Let's see if we can. But we need that water to sub-simmer first. In the meantime, if I'm really careful, I can get that yolk and eat that. Well, that wasn't bad. I mean, you can eat the yolk raw, right? I love that on a steak tartare, for example. All right. The first bubbles are starting to form. That means we are getting ready to throw that egg in there soon. We need a little bit more bubbles. And then we're going to move on to the fried eggs. Again, for the fried eggs, I would suggest to strain the eggs so you get a lovely, perfect shape because of all the excess water being gone. Let's see how this works. Okay, the water is about there, not quite yet, but it's getting there. I'm going to pass the time by smoking a cigarette. All right, and then we've got the fried eggs and the scrambled eggs left. Yeah, the first bubbles are starting to move to the top, not quite breaking the surface, staying at the top. But we need a little bit more bubbles because we do want the white to set as fast as possible, basically. When we put it in from down there. Let's hope that works. I am a little bit skeptical, honestly, because it's not the way I used to poach eggs. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Oh, actually, couldn't we just pour it in through from here? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to pour the egg back into the bowl because I think that is easier to get in there. Okay, the water is starting to steam a little bit. The bubbles are starting to rise to the surface. Lovely. That's the way we want it. Yeah, I think we can get the egg in there now. Let's try that. Yes. I am not sure if this is going to work the way it's supposed to be. Right now, it's not really setting, honestly. Okay, that was too early, apparently. Well, it is quite staying together, but it's not encasing the egg yolk, unfortunately. Gonna keep it in place there for a second. That chicken is dead. Yeah, agreed. We are getting the formation of like a blanket of egg white. However, it is not encasing the egg yolk, unfortunately. Come on, encase the egg yolk. Okay, this is not working the way it's supposed to work. Good to know. Even Kenji isn't perfect, apparently. I mean, we've got the perfect egg yolk on the one hand, and the perfect, well, blanket of egg white that just cracked. All right, that is not the way to poach egg. Yeah, apparently I am, Kashka. Okay, this way does not work the way it's supposed to work, which is quite unfortunate. I'm gonna try to fix that at some other point. But it is good to know that even Kenji's stuff is not foolproof every single time. A few other tips I've read, but I haven't tried them, is to put a plate at the bottom. Yeah, that was far too low. The temperature was far too low to put the egg in. Maybe that was the reason. I should have waited a little bit longer and get it to... Come on, get on there without breaking, please. I should have waited longer before putting the egg in. But that is something... I don't know for next time. And since these are not the last Kenji's cooking streams, we are going to continue, and there are still some egg stuff left to do. You prefer eggs that have been stored longer so they turn into chicken? I don't want to have chicken hatching in my fridge or in my cupboard, honestly, but otherwise, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to abort this. I'm going to try to prepare the perfect poached egg before doing the next cooking stream, which will happen next month, probably. So, let's move on to the next topic. We're going to start with the fried eggs. Now, fried eggs, you have three options, basically. You can, let me get that back into the fridge. You can basically either fry the egg at a low heat. That will work. It will set the yolk, though, because the heat will transfer to the yolk. It has a longer time to transfer to the yolk. And it will cause the yolk to completely firm up and be chalky at the bottom, which is not really nice, is it? Second way is medium heat. If you do that, it will probably be the bottom half of the egg yolk will be firm and the top part will be runny, which is nice, but still not ideal. To get the ideal, perfect fried egg with a runny yolk and a set white, high heat is your friend. Medium high heat is your friend. Because that will make sure that the yolk will stay almost completely liquid, while the bottom of the egg will be, where the white will be completely set. However, if you do it over really high heat, the bottom will burn before the rest is finished. So a medium high heat is the best way to go. And a good tip also is to baste the white with the oil or butter you have in the pan already. So this is what we are going to try right now. We're going to throw a pan onto the stove. Turn up the heat to a medium-high heat, around a 7 out of 10. They eat everything, yeah, true. They do eat everything. I mean, just think about 1,000-year-old egg, right? Once again, we are going to strain the egg. Why? Because that gives us the best shape of fried egg. If we strain the egg, we get rid of all those water, all that excess water. And once we've gotten rid of all of that, the rest will keep its shape and not run around too much. Should be a lot firmer and a lot more perfect shape of fried egg. All right, this is gonna heat up. Once the water has evaporated, we're gonna take some butter to throw in there, melt that, and then get the egg in there. And then we're gonna get to the very interesting part of scrambled eggs. And I can tell you already, scrambled eggs are gonna be interesting because even I learned something when I read that in preparation for today. Something I had forgotten from the last time I read it. So let's see if you know that tip or that idea by Kenji. I should blow my nose again. Hold on. All right, we are getting there. I'm just going to clean up a little bit while we wait for the pan to heat up, and so that we can get ready. All right, we're going to need this bowl later on. Hey, Trans, how are you doing? How is your Saturday going? Hopefully all is well. All right, the pan has a lovely heat. Now we're going to throw in some butter and melt that. We do need quite a bit of butter because we need enough butter to be able to baste the egg. There we go. We're going to swirl it around in the pan so that everything is covered. Look at that. I'm actually going to lower the temperature by 2. There we go. And now we're going to throw in the egg. Very simple. There we go. I'm going to wait for the egg white to set. Yes, only Spotify links Gothrush, unfortunately. Only Spotify. All right, there we go. Now we're going to start to baste the top of the egg with the butter, which is a little bit browned already. I don't mind, honestly. But as you can see, it is already firming up quite nicely, getting crisp at the bottom. While getting set on top. Also, you can see how lovely it slides around. Those white color visible. There we go. And honestly, there we go. That is a lovely fried egg. Let's get that out of there. No, not you. Let's get that away. What? Oh, I didn't grip it yet. There we have a lovely fried egg. Not much more to it. And obviously, damn it. No, I'm going to take the normal butter this time. Again, a tiny bit of butter. Piece of bread. It's the way it's supposed to be. There we go. I'm going to slide our knife below and get this lovely little fried egg onto the piece of bread with some salt. You're good. Lurking and enjoying and now feeling hungry. That's the good thing about the cooking stream. I haven't eaten anything today on purpose because I knew I would be doing this stream. Some salt on a fried egg on a piece of toast or bread. Enjoy. To be honest, a good egg doesn't need pepper, in my opinion, Kashka. The salt alone alleviates the egg far enough. Oh. Look at how liquid that is. Lovely. Perfect. Now, let's move on to scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs is gonna be the much funner part. Because, as I said, even I learned something new while reading that chapter in preparation. How many eggs I bought? 16. And we've already used 11. So, yeah. There is the big question of when to salt your scrambled eggs, right? I mean, there are people who mix the eggs and season them with salt right away. There are people who salt them just before they hit the pan. There are people who salt them while they're in the pan. And there are people who salt them at the end when they come out of the pan. How should you do it? Again, it sounds stupid, but again, it depends. Everything always depends. As a rule of thumb, you can say the earlier you're gonna salt your eggs, the less they will weep on the plate later. That means the earlier you salt them, the better they retain the liquid. Now, you can salt them right in the beginning, which is the way that we are going to do it today. That way, they will be least watery, most tender, and will have soft curds. If you salt them just before you put them in the pan, they will be moderately tender, and they won't be too watery. That will be fine as well. If you do it at the end of the cook, they will be quite tough, and they will start to weep. So we're going to do two different scrambled eggs today. One where we salt it right at the start, and one where we salt it after it comes out of the pan. The next big question with eggs is, what do you put in them, into the scrambled eggs? Hey, Winnie, how are you doing? Welcome. Seriously, the result was that all the scrambled eggs were nearly indistinguishable from each other. If anything, the eggs that sat with salt for the longest were the more moist and tender than the eggs that were exposed to salt for less time. So I can't say that the difference was incredibly subtle. Interesting, Gothrush. That is extremely interesting, because Serious Eat is the side where this guy used to work. So he's saying something differently here. Very interesting. We'll find out today together. I mean, we're going to do two scrambled eggs, or 2 eggs scrambled, salted right away, and let them set for another 15 minutes. Cooking an egg over an open fire. Honestly, I would probably scramble or fry it. If you have a frying pan. If you don't, if you only have a pot, I would just boil it and eat a soft-boiled egg. Yeah, just like what Thrush said, basically. Winnie, how are you doing? How is your Saturday going? Hopefully all is fine. Yeah, like I said, we're going to figure out if it really does make a difference. If you don't have a pot, honestly, it's okay. Oh, that doesn't sound too good. I was just about to say that, Beth. I would probably just throw it into the coals or something and boil it that way. Find a big rock, clean it, and use that as a pot. Well, you would need a big rock with a hole in it. Otherwise, good idea. All right. What do you put into your scrambled eggs besides salt? There are, again, multiple different philosophies of what you would put in there. You did lots of primitive cooking. Nice. Yeah, I've been starting to get into that as well because of the van. When I'm out with the van and I want to cook and I only have one fire, you gotta get used to it, right? You gotta figure out how to cook like that. yeah, there are multiple philosophies what to put in your scrambled eggs. Some people like to not put anything in there. Some people like to put some water in there, or some milk or cream. Men with pot. I know a lot of men with pot, but it's probably not the pot you're talking about. God, that was bad. That was bad. True, Gothrush. Probably, yeah. All right. So you can scramble your eggs and just do it purely without any additional ingredients. It cooks very fast, but it's going to be quite tough. You can add some water to it. Yo, Bev! Thank you for gifting that sub to Vinny! Means the world. Thank you. Winnie, enjoy the emotes. Congrats. Don't you think that I have forgotten any of your gifted subs or anything? They are all in here, and the ones from today will end up in there as well as soon as I've got the new printer installed. Don't you worry, just so you know. Yeah, you can put some water into your eggs. I wouldn't know why you would do that, water them down. But they will be fluffier, but the flavor will be diluted, which is not quite nice. Why will they be fluffier? Well, quite obviously, the water will evaporate within the egg white, causing for bubbles, causing for fluffiness. Quite easy. Yeah, watered down eggs, just not my type. I would never put water into my scrambled eggs. That's just weird. The second thing you can put in is milk. I've done that quite often, to be honest. What are the results? Cloud eggs. Oh, I love those, but I've never actually made them. Maybe we can do that at some point. If you put milk in there, they will be even fluffier than with water. It is actually quite different, Gothrush. I was surprised to learn that as well. I wasn't quite sure, I wasn't quite aware of that, because the main difference is the protein in the milk. Rum and chocolate eggs. Or either. It doesn't have to be together. No, but the protein in the milk, it helps. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. Sorry. The proteins and the fat in the milk, they prevent the egg proteins from bounding, making sure that they are even more tender and not chewy or anything like that. So that is pretty good to know. I wasn't aware of that, honestly, that was the reason why you should put, or why it makes sense to put milk in there. Now, as a third ingredient, instead of the milk or the water, you can put cream in there. Quite nice. They won't be as fluffy because the cream is quite thick, making not evaporating as much. We could do that, absolutely, Gothrush. Yeah, we can do that. The thing is, we have 5 eggs left at the moment. Unfortunately, only 5 eggs left. What we could do, let's ignore the salting for today. Yeah, let's ignore the salt for today. And let's do... I don't really want to make a scrambled egg with 1 egg. That is quite stupid. Because the thing is, the last thing would be cream, which will be less fluffy, rich, almost cheesy in taste, because the high fat reduces the bonding of the proteins in the egg even more. I would like to try the cream variant. So how about this, Gothrush? We're gonna do 3 scrambled eggs. 1 with 2 eggs and water, 1 with 2 eggs and milk and cream, and 1 with 1 egg and milk. That way we have all 3 to compare. What do you think about that? Otherwise, I'll orient myself with you. Yeah, true. We can actually do that. Yeah, good point, Gotosh. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, then let's get going with that. That's actually a good point, Gotosh. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, of course we can do it that way. So we're going to crack all 5 eggs into one bowl and divide it up into 3s. Now, one more thing you should add, at least in the end, when they're in the pan, is ice cold butter. Why? Because it makes them ultra creamy. It's basically the same thing you do when you create a sauce. You mount it with some ice cold butter in the end to get it really, really creamy. And you can basically do the same thing with the eggs. All right. 5 eggs in one bowl. There we go. Let me quickly wash my hands, and then we will continue. God, my nose is killing me today. Blow it again already. All right, let me quickly blow my nose one more time, and then we'll continue. All right, and back. Now we're going to whisk them together with our medium whisk. First, break all the egg yolks. Mix it together. Just want to make sure that it's one homogeneous liquid. There we go. Now we're gonna try to put like about 1/3 into this bowl. And we need one more bowl. Do we have one more here? Yes, we do. There we go. So we're gonna try to put half in there. There we go. And now we've got 3 versions. Now, how are we going to do this? Very easy. We're going to take option number 1, which is down here, which we are not going to salt beforehand, and we're going to add a little bit of water to it. We've got this one, which we're going to put some milk in it and salt it just before it gets into the pan. And we've got the 3rd variant where we're going to put some cream in. Actually, let me put some more in here, because that is a little bit little. There we go. Hey, Tomcat, how are you doing? Welcome. Yeah, we're going to put some cream into this one. No, we're going to... different. Milk, water, cream. Milk will be salted just before it hits the pan. Water won't be salted before it exits the pan. And this one will be salted right at the beginning. So, let me get some water. Okay, with this amount of egg, we don't need much water, cream, or milk at all. Oh, Winnie, thank you for that. Equal amounts of the liquids. Well, I'll try to as good as I can. With this amount of eggs, we don't need much at all. Basically, all we need is about 1 tablespoon of water, milk, or cream in each. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of water to this one. Then I'm going to get the milk. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of milk to this one. And we're going to add 1 tablespoon. Is egg considered a liquid? Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, in this case, yeah. About 1 tablespoon of cream into this one. Now, trying to organize myself here. There we go. Now, we're going to start with the water one, which is this one. Meaning we have to whisk this until it's kind of combined and frothy. By the way, milk and water we're going to salt at the same time, while the cream one, I'm going to add the salt to the cream one already and stir that one already, because that one needs to sit for 15 minutes before we can fry it off. So let me quickly do that. Actually, that needs a little bit more salt. Well, the yolk, if you break it, it is liquidy, so. And it is just water and proteins. All right, that is the creamy one. Echo 15 Minuten. Like I said, we're going to let that sit for 15 minutes and you will see a change during those 15 minutes. So it's there, here it is, but some countries don't require that. Honestly, we've talked about that in the beginning, Beth. The only reason why you would need to refrigerate your eggs is if they are washed before sale. Because by nature, eggs are covered in a very thin layer of wax, making sure that no bacteria or anything can get into the egg. But if you wash the eggs before you sell them, you remove that layer of wax, basically opening them up to all kinds of bacteria, which you don't want. So in Europe, normally eggs are not washed, so they don't need to be refrigerated, generally. However, if you refrigerate them, they might keep longer. So there is pros and cons, basically, for both. All right. Now, we do have the water over here, milk over here, and cream down there. I mean, you can already see a color difference, can't you? Oh, wait, let me move that a little bit further back, maybe. There we go. You can already see quite the color difference. They're covered with chicken poo, so they're definitely not waxed, not washed in that case, Kashka. You recently learned the Europeans don't refrigerate their eggs. Also, the Europeans don't refrigerate their milk. Probably not, Tomcat. We're going to do that tomorrow. Yeah, the milk thing is very weird. I've never heard about people not refrigerating the milk. Because then it just goes back bad very, very fast. But the eggs, honestly, I know people that keep them refrigerated and I know people who don't. I usually don't. But again, to each their own. In Europe, at least, I would say, since the eggs should be fine. But yeah, like I said, you only need to refrigerate the eggs on purpose when they are washed before sale. Ah, true, yeah, I completely forgot about the homogenized milk, which you can keep at room temperature. True, I did not think about that. Yeah, obviously you have that option. All right, we're gonna turn on the pan. We're gonna use the same pan we used to fry the fried eggs in earlier. All we basically have to do is, again, add some more butter. Can never have enough butter. There we go. And then basically all we have to do, put it in there, scrape, fold, until it's slightly underdone, and then it's ready to eat. So I'm gonna get 3 plates up here so we can really compare. Let me get this one over here. This is the one that is resting for 15 minutes. We're gonna start with the water one, which is here. And then we're gonna continue with the milk one, which is here. Water, milk, and cream. Let me get this one out of the way. There we go. All right, the butter is melting. So it is time to get our first egg in there. Now, you do want a medium-high heat. I'm going to turn it up to a 7. And then all we have to do, sunny side up eggs are my least favorite way to eat eggs, unless the yolk is cooked where it doesn't spill out when you cut it. Okay, for me it's the exact opposite. No, it's the same with sunny side eggs are my least favorite to eat. But if I eat sunny side up eggs, the yolk has to be as runny as possible. We can already see how this one is getting there, right? Yes. I mean, on this medium-high heat, this is already enough. I mean, it's already done. There we go. There we go. And there we go. That is one. Let's get the milk one in there. Sunny side up is live. I have to disagree, unfortunately. Oh, another buddy, cut it for buddy. I completely missed that. I'm going to give him that in a minute, together with the one from earlier. No, honestly, credulous. The best way to eat eggs is soft-boiled or poached, in my opinion, or scrambled. Scrambled is also fine. But honestly, any way is fine. I eat every single way of eggs. You can prepare eggs. All right, here's our scrambled eggs with milk. Let's see how this one looks. I mean, this is so fast. It's crazy. Done already. Grate that off onto this plate. Oh, that over there. And now we're gonna have to wait. Echo, wie lange noch?
Fast 8 Minuten und 30 Sekunden verbleibend auf deinem 15. Timer.
Now we have to wait 8 more minutes before we can put the late one in there. You made it in time for dinner. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Cred. How are you doing though? How was your afternoon? All right, let's compare these two already. The ones over here are made with water. The ones over here are made with milk. We are going to salt both of them. And then have a look if we can see any discernible difference. Okay, wait, let me get those out of the way while they keep resting. We're going to start with the water one. Wait, can you see that? Yes, you can. Okay. Okay, they're not weeping or any, a little bit. You look down there, most of that is fat, to be honest. No water weeping out. So many practices done around those. Nice. Excuse me, Tomcat. Would you say that again? All right, let me give that a try. Ah, okay. It is. Okay, it is quite rubbery, to be honest. It's not bad, but it's rubbery. Let's try the one with milk. which is this one over here. Oh, that one is a lot more fluffy. I mean, maybe you can even see that. If I press down on this, it really gives. But this one bounces more. It's crazy. You can't really see the difference, but except that this is a little bit darker, but which is probably because of the brown butter. But this one is a lot more fluffy. It's a completely different texture. Feel free, Cred. I mean, this one I don't even have to chew. I can basically press it against my gum and it dissolves, while this one I have to chew through. I would not have expected that. Interesting. That is very interesting. Huh. But good to know. Okay, definitely never make your scrambled eggs with water. Well, the cutting board itself only has some water on it. I don't think you really want to lick that clean. But you are more than welcome to lick the plates clean. Buddy. Up. But yeah, Buddy can definitely lick the bowls clean, the egg bowls. All right, we're still waiting for the last egg to rest. I mean, the color looks amazing already. Look how orange that is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see how that tastes. The mom was the patient once who let her dog clean the plates before she just put them directly back into the cupboards. Oh no! Oh no! Ah! I mean, I do love Buddy more than anything in this world, but no, no, just no. Oh no, Bev. Oh crap. Why would somebody do that? Not good. That is the worst. Don't ever do that. Yeah, exactly, Cred. Exactly. My nose is running today. That is crazy. All right. Me neither, Bev. Definitely not. Actually, you know what? Well, honestly, the plates do look clean. Yeah, that's true. And honestly, I would let my dog lick the plates, but I would put them in the dishwasher afterwards. Like right now. I don't want to eat that because that is rubbery. But actually, I'm going to put it into Buddy's bowl instead. Yeah. So he can enjoy that lovely egg. Honestly, Winnie, you never have to say that. I more have to be kept from giving something to him. All right, we are about to be finished. Just waiting for the final egg to finish resting so we can fry it up, scramble it. He loves egg. There was a time when I used to just crack a raw egg over his food, crush the shell, put it in there as well, and he loved that. He almost eats anything. I'm not sure if I could name anything he doesn't like to eat. Vegetables, human food, anything. As long as it's food, he'll eat it. Echo, wie lange noch? Echo, wie lange noch?
und 50
All right, 2 more minutes. Lemons. I haven't tried lemons. Oh, man. Eaten too much. I would assume he doesn't like them, but I haven't tried. Natural diet for most predators. Yeah, exactly. When they have eggs fallen out of any bird's nests or something, they love to eat those. And the egg is gone already. But yeah, I mean, he even likes dates and any kind of fruit, basically. There's stuff he's not allowed to get, obviously, like garlic or onions or stuff like that, or chocolate. But especially chocolate, he would eat it if I would give it to him. I've learned the hard way. And he loves licorice, which is just nuts. I usually buy those licorice snakes, or whatever you call it. Karina, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. Glad you like it here. Welcome. Yeah, we're waiting for the timer to run out. Echo, wie lange noch? Echo, wie lange noch?
40 verbleibend auf deinem Timer.
All right, 40 more seconds. Where's my whisk? Damn it. I already put it into the sink. Let me quickly get that back. There it is. Because we need to whisk those one more time before we put them in the pan. But we can already start the pan, heat the pan up. How are you doing, Karina? Welcome. How is your weekend going? Hopefully all is well. Oh, by the way, that reminds me of something I wanted to do for a long time. Echo, stop. There you go. Let's see when you noticed what changed. But you absolutely deserve that. You're such a lovely addition to this community. You are definitely... Doesn't say banned permanently? Nope, definitely not. But how do you like that shiny new diamond? Oh, sorry, Tomcat. Better luck next time. Okay, as you might have noticed, this one is very orangey. Oh, glad that you enjoyed that. All right, let's get that into the pan, which is heated up. We just need some more butter in there, once again. Always need butter. There we go. And we want to swirl that around a little bit. Try to get some of these egg pieces out first so they don't burn. Go. All right, let's get that in there. Now this is the one with cream salted at the beginning and then rested for 15 minutes. So let's start to scrape and fold this over slowly but certainly. Look at that. I'm going to flip it over one more time. And that's it. That's all there is to it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. I mean, already, if you only compare the color and the shape, it looks so much more creamy. So let's give that a try. I mean, this is the one with milk, right? Let's put it next to it. It is, well, not too different, but the color is actually different if you look at it. The milk one is darker, interestingly enough. But yeah, let's see how this one tastes in comparison, of course, to the other two. Huh. Interesting. It is quite the tough texture. Tougher than the milk one. So I'm not really sure what's going on here. This is, oh no, actually, oh, hold on. No, hold on. It actually makes absolute sense now that I read back the explanation. The cream ones are supposed to be less fluffy, rich, almost cheesy from a taste standpoint. And I have to say, I agree. They are. They're not as fluffy as the milk ones, but they're extremely creamy and rich. Ah, interesting. Honestly, I like the one with milk better. So unless you want some really rich eggs that really almost taste cheesy, I have to agree. Don't use cream, use milk. Just saying. I mean, it's not that they're not tasty, but it's just a very special texture and taste. I'm not really sure if I like it that much, if I'm really honest. But I've done them with cream a lot of times. Maybe it's the salt in this point. Oh, interesting. Anyway, everyone, that was Buddy's Test Kitchen, Kenji's Eggs. It's been a pleasure. It's been a lot of work. I've got some cleaning up to do, but otherwise everything is fine. So this is gonna be it for me today. I can't thank all of you enough for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. I will take photos of my little cheat sheets that I used and put them on the Discord. And tomorrow I will be right back, but not in the kitchen. Tomorrow we are gonna play GeoChatter. I hope that you are up for that. Let me quickly check something. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna be back at 1 p.m. UTC, 2 p.m. German time, 2 hours earlier than today. No worries, Credulous, no worries. I mean, this was very basic. We are gonna go through the entire book over the next year. Probably one stream per month is my plan. And we're gonna go to bean chilies, chicken cutlets, tartar sauces, vegetables. There is so much we can go through here. Balding Hippie, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. It is a huge book. I mean, the entire book has, wait, how many pages does it have? 950 around. So, yeah, it is the cookbook of the year 20, I have no idea, some year. And it is the James Beard Foundation Book Award winner. So it is a good one. It is thick, but it gives you a very detailed instruction on all things basic cooking. Those are going to be like once a month. Not quite. Some outdoor cooking tomorrow. Nice, Bev. Go ahead and film that and put it onto YouTube. I'm definitely going to watch that. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's been a fun afternoon. Let's quickly see if there's anybody live that we can raid. Let me quickly see if I can find somebody. I don't want to leave you hanging. Logical is cooking and raising funds for... Oh, really? Oh, that's good to know, Gothrush. Definitely. We're definitely going to raid him then. even though I do not know him, but so far you haven't led me astray with new channels to raid. So let's raid Quest 1 Logical. And of course, World Central Kitchen is always a good cause to support. So let's get over there. All right, everyone. Like I said, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Thank you so, so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to cut this down into a nice, cohesive YouTube video to put it up there. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, like I said, tomorrow, 2 p.m. German time, 1 p.m. UTC, 2 hours earlier than today, we will be back playing some GeoChatter, and I would love to see you all then. Until then, I hope you have an amazing rest of your Saturday, an amazing evening, and an amazing start into your Sunday tomorrow. An absolute pleasure, and I will see all of you tomorrow, hopefully. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.